Well, runs on the card here as the second match gets on the way. And we are going to bring up some scores and names in a minute or two. But two boundaries in this first over so far. But what we can tell you, this one was meat and drink as he was just pulling and pulling well into no man's land. So the New Yorkers are feeling, having lost the toss. So New York versus the Florida Hurricanes, that's what it is. Four more. Still trying to get organized here in terms of run scores, batters, and all the good stuff. But a couple of boundaries so far. Again, cricket, lovely cricket here at the Broward County Stadium. So I think we are now lost the sunshine. Working this one off the legs and can't score. So we'll get some full coverage in a minute or two. Moshed and Charlie officiating in this second game of the day. So folks, just for information's sake, this is the 17th edition of the US Open. Started way back in 2008. This venue missed out on the World Cup in the West Indies in 2007. But as history would write and say that this stadium came about with the World Cup in the West Indies in mind. But we were not that lucky to get onto the playing area. But then we would have seen New Zealand Sri Lanka, West Indies, India, Pakistan, Ireland. We've seen those teams showcase their ways right on this park here. It's an international venue. By the way, this tournament is it's sanctioned by the ICC. So in between all the naysayers and in between a whole lot of things, and people who are trying to keep down the USA, I'm going to say it here and now. Let cricket be the winner. We're putting faces on cricket and saying because such and such is doing it and because this doing it, I'll sabotage and I'll not support and all that nonsense. Cricket is supposed to be the winner. So again, I'm going to say all hails to MAQ. So now we have a live scoreboard in front of us here now. So I can go straight on to live cricket commentary. So Christopher Barnwell, who would have started the proceedings. Well, he started his over. Giving up some 6 runs already. Christopher Barnwell out of the West Indies. Oh, this time he's pulling and pulling well. And this time there's a square leg down there, though. Just for the one. I guess he was on his back foot, so there was not a chance of running the 2. One was dug in short, and he's getting up. That's not Christopher Barnwell. That's bowling, though. But we'll get it right in a minute or 2. A swing and a miss. That's not Christopher Barnwell. That's bowling. This one is hitting high in the air and down to the boundary for 4. So that over comes to an end. We'll get the name correct. It's not Barnwell that was just bowling that. Barnwell, he would have bowled already. So we'll get that corrected. Just stand by in a minute. Bounded again outside the. Well, we've come to the end of over number 4, and this total on the board is 20 for no loss. So the Eagles, winning the toss, decided they will have a bat first. So they've worked their way to 20 from 4 overs, going at 5 runs and over. The New Yorkers, both teams are having their first game of this tournament. This year is the 17th edition of the tournament. Started way back, and the simple idea came about from MAQ TV to have a shortened version of cricket. And it came down to 20 overs. But prior to that, we had one Mr. Oliver Solomon. I'm sure you know Oliver Solomon, Mr. Festus. Yeah, you know, Oliver Solomon, he would have, Oliver Solomon would have wanted to bring this game, to bring it into 3 hours. And he brought it down to a science where you can get, you were trying for, 30 overs. He was trying to say 30 overs because he thought 20 overs was always a little too, that's a wide down the leg side, was too short. But there was no 20 overs then, So he was saying 3 hours. Since most sports in America is 3 hours, he was working into a science. And then at times, I'm sure you would have umpired in some of those matches where he would have calculated where one bowler can bowl 2 overs and you'll bowl 15 overs from one end, 15 from the other end, and to speed it up, you tell the umpire ahead of time, I'm going to bowl 6 deliveries, and he allow you to bowl it to get it in. And no matter how he tried to get in 30 overs, he can only get 28 overs in the thing, even using the two bowlers that you don't change around the field, don't change around umpire, just 15 overs one end, 15 the other end. And then Mac now thought it, well, why not even get in playing normal format, 10 overs from this end, 10 from the other end, and we can get 20 overs within the 3 hours. And so I'd say the birth of 2020 cricket started when Mac started at Foss Park. You remember Foss Park in Dana Beach? Yes, and Richie Richardson and the likes came by there. And I started as a photographer there. And the same Milton Taylor here, who's the head curator here, he was on commentary with a speaker in the park. You know, you have a speaker right there, generator. This time the batsman is pulling and gone for 4. Yes, it was chin music, and he was on the back foot, top edging really, and coming down to the fine leg. There was no one on the boundary. He got 4 for his effort. The ball hits into the boundary board and back, but nice thing here that Mark is doing. So I started off by saying no, where the shorter version started, and I was, oh, there's another boundary here. The one flicked nicely off the pads down to the boundary for 4. Long leg, there's no long leg, there's a square leg. And the two boundary riders is backward square leg and deep mid wicket. And the bowler here, Fahim, guilty of straying into the legs of Exatula, and he flicked it nicely for back-to-back boundaries. He's on 9 from 15. He was labeling earlier. Was on 1 from 13, and right away he raced up. So he's on 13 from 16, and Anwar is on 15. So this over started off with a wide, a dot, and then back-to-back boundaries. And I was saying, then here comes Qureshi, decided, well, let's try the 2020, you know, 2020. But I can say something even before that, because when Oliver Solomon brought the idea to me, I was a member of the South Florida Cricket Association, and I brought it to the board. Jeff Miller, too, was, he was the president. And then he took it over to Tony Cozier. And when we heard about the shortened version, Tony Cozier said, oh, that's rubbish cricket. I remember it. Oh, this time the first wicket goes right as Iqbal enters into the com box. So good afternoon, Mr. Iqbal. You've double duty. You were on the square showcasing your wares earlier, leading your team. We'll get into that a little later, but let me go ahead and welcome you to the com box for this, the second game of this second day's tournament in the 17th edition of the US Open.
Yes, thank you, Ira. Thank you, viewers. Good to see the first game finish up. Unfortunately, we didn't win the game, but it was a good cricket game. Good to see overall a good cricket for all the fans watching on MAQ TV. And good to see you as well. First wicket down for DC Eagles. Anwar was trying to hook it to the leg side, but couldn't got hold of it. Out. First wicket down for 30 for 1 in the 4 overs. The power play has not been properly utilized with the strong batting order of the DC Eagles.
Well, they won the toss and decided they're going to take first knock, so at least they're going to try to set a decent target. The first game up, we would have seen a mammoth total in the day, 227 for the loss of only 4 wickets, and the last wicket coming via the run-out route. So in earnest, the credit to the bowlers, only 3 bowlers, 3 wickets were credited to bowlers. And we'll get into that as the commentary go on. You try to marshal your troop. And we know franchise cricket, sometimes it's hard without much net practice to know the ability of players. You just have names in front of you. This one is down the leg side. It's a wide. Smartly taken to the left by the wicket keeper. So as I was saying, you would have won the toss, so we have to start from that. So we're going to have you an interview while you're doing commentary. You won the toss, so at least you had a win by winning the toss, but it counts for naught because you still have to go on the square and play the game and perhaps mark that win. This one is flicked nicely. Not a man move. It's 4 more down to the vacant fine leg.
Yeah, it was a good shot. Flick on the leg side. Bad line from Fahim. Yeah, he's trying to bowl into the batter, but going down on the leg side, and it was just free runs on the leg side for the batter. Bukhari, Hasnan Bukhari has been player of the tournament last season, continuing his form from this new season of the 17th edition.
Yes, so after 5, it's 34 for 1. And having won the toss, like I said, trying to set a target, lost an early wicket at 31, so just at 30. They lost the wicket at 30, so just 4 runs added since the fall of the first wicket. So having won the toss this morning, we were under brilliant sunshine. By the way, the sun has been covered by clouds. But what was the thinking? Because the team you played against, the Lions, they roared yesterday, won their match yesterday from the front.
Yeah.
Batting first.
Yeah, what we had in our mind was because of his first tournament, first game of the tournament, you have got all new players, you haven't seen any of them, and then it was all about making a strategy. And, there's always the first day of the game in the morning, the first game, there's always a little bit of moisture in the pitch. So it's a bit advantage for the bowlers, and there was a bit of moisture, but I think the batters played really well. The bowlers didn't utilize that advantage early on. Bit outside the off stump, he cut it out and just 4 runs. He was trying to cut a bit in front, but just got an edge. Went between the slips. Oh, it was up in the air. It was very lucky. That ball was in the air between the 2 fielders.
Well, he will tell you that was a calculated edge. So, early in the morning, moisture must have been in the wicket. The batters batted beautifully. Like you said, of course, your first wicket fell at 175. You had one chance prior to that, a bowling caught. It was hard. It was a hard one. And then the other chance was down at the deep mid-wicket corner area. Would have been a shoestring catch.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Above the point fielder. Not an easy shot to play towards spinner.
Well calculated. He picked his spot, marked his man, got it over his head, and you played one of those over extra cover, calculated.
That's one of my favorite shots.
Yes, so
Those were the days. Just remembering some old history.
oh,
Dot ball. Yeah, I really enjoyed batting today. It was good fun, getting my form into it. But unfortunately, we didn't had the batters around in the team who, taking up the challenge and scoring some big runs. That's a big shot. Uses his feet. There's a fielder there and above his head for 6 runs. Huge hit. Izzatullah. Massive. Uses his shoulders out of the park.
yes, well, he goes on to 28. He used his feet well. He's danced down the wicket. Didn't know he was a ballet dancer, but now you know. Now you know. He used his feet, and with one swing of the arm, got all of it, and went all the way for 6. This fielder on the long on boundary became a spectator. As a matter of fact, he was looking up in the sky, probably thinking it was a bird. Something was flying past him, but it was a white ball. It's colored clothing, white ball, for those who are listening and not viewing. colored clothing. So at the end of the power play, they worked their way to 48 for 1.
Yeah, they're cruising in the power play. Lost the wicket off the one opening batter.
Yes, in your power play, you would have scored 44 for 3 wickets.
Yes, you keep reminding. I just don't want to tell them.
No, we always have newcomers, so that's why we have to tell them what happened yesterday, because we always think that there's someone who would not have heard about the US Open, although it's been going for 17 years.
I think everyone have heard it. It's been famous all over the world now.
No, we have some people who are now 5 years old, 6 years old. They were not here 17 years ago,
Yeah.
so we have to tell them.
Absolutely,
Yes.
I agree.
You saw those school children yesterday at the presentation? They were not even thought of when this tournament started. And I started saying it was a thought of MAQ when he took it down from, well, I'll give you a little history.
I know the history. I was the one who was participated in the first tournament.
No, I'll give you a further history before that. When we were trying to cut down the game here, there was one Oliver Solomon of the Caribbean Sports Line
who missed a straight ball.
Who wanted to get a 3-hour game because we had the conversation. Everything in America is fast food, and most games last for 3 hours. The basketball, baseball, and the likes. Even soccer, 90 minutes, soccer would go to, 3 hours with the ads and all that stuff. So I say, let's calculate and try to get cricket to a science where we can get it in 3 hours. And he tried it in the conventional way, 6 overs, 6 balls from one over, 6 from the other. And he could get 30 overs if you squeeze it hard. Squeeze it. But then he tried and he said, let's go ahead and bowl 15 overs from one end, 15 from the other end. And then he's still squeezing, he could get it in 3 hours. Then he said, listen, one bowler can bowl 2 overs. Just inform the umpire that you're bowling 2 overs on the trot.
Yeah.
And then when he came down to about 28 overs, he's trying to get. And I don't know if MAQ heard of it, because MAQ was around when they're trying to get this 3-hour game. MAQ decided, why not just play conventional cricket and we get 3 hours with 20 overs. And this was at Frost Park and Dania Beach. And MAQ deciding, 2020 cricket is it. We brought that to the Tony Causes and those, commentators. And they say, oh, that's rubbish cricket. That was Tony Cause's exact word to it. I wasn't one of the administrators here in the league. And Jeff Miller, don't know if you know him.
Yeah, I know him.
Where he's a Bajan like Tony Causes. So he have a Cause here. And he sent it back and told us that was rubbish cricket. This short version of cricket that we were trying to bring for ICC and everybody to think about. Loud appeal and not given by umpire Javid Charlie.
Pitching leg, I think.
Yes. So batter's going to have a conference and to credit.
I think MAQ deserves every credit because his passion, his love for cricket is absolutely amazing. The amount of energy I see with him every time, every year, throughout the year. He play himself as well in the tournaments of legends and all around. This is something which I've never seen anyone anywhere in the world. The amount of passion, the passionate, and the way he teaches about how to play cricket to the youngsters as well. So I absolutely admire MAQ, and I've always been grateful for him to give players like me and everyone an opportunity of a platform here, to showcase your talent in the field and outside the field. So MAQ has done immensely brilliant.
Well, he's one where you can, don't know if he coined the phrase, I was coined because of him, but then I'll say I know better, he was coined before him, but he has put his money where his mouth is. Because even before all his sponsors and stuff, MAQ was single-handedly doing this without sponsors, with his own organization. Simple thing here, but there comes Cricket Council USA and the likes, and an organization that say, well, let's up the ante. I remember first 2 matches here, Trinidad and Tobago won back-to-back. It was a $100,000 tournament. and Trinidad came by and really, really, came and really walked over everyone. Walked over everyone. So we have a third umpire is very close to us. So you're hearing it coming here. So that's to show you the level of this competition. We're now having a third umpire. Normally we were fighting to get one umpire sometimes. So
Just to ask a quick question.
Yes.
When we were playing the game, there were a couple of reviews were being asked by our team.
well, the only reviews are for stumping and run out.
Yeah, I think it was probably
It'll have to be a run out or stumping because we have two cameras for that.
Yeah.
LBWs and the nick behind and all that stuff. Might be able to aid you here, but that's not part of the the production crew. Okay, so the run out and the stumping,
right.
you can send it upstairs. We might be able to help you with a boundary. If it went over the boundary, a replay or something like that. If it went to the boundary, the fielder touching the boundary. But you don't have a review, the batter. Okay. Yes, so like we're saying, giving credit to the third umpire, you'll hear it coming through the microphones here. And, these microphones are sensitive as well, so they pick it up from afar, which is a good thing, just to show you that Mark has not just looking at the two umpires now, he's showing that we're going to put some professionalism into it. So a third umpire has been employed throughout the 17th edition, so there's progress. So there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes, like you were just saying about with Mark. He does just about everything from playing to coaching to organizing and putting the right personnel in place. And I can tell you, I have bragging rights. 17 years and counting.
Wow.
I've never missed one of them. I was there from the onset, from the beginning. He's pushing with soft hands for the single, good cricket, off and running, good response from the non-striker as well. It takes 2 to 1 run.
I love rotating strike. You must have seen it.
Yes, of course, of course.
That is how I've been, developed as a player.
And now you brought it back. Now you told me to stop, and now you brought it back. So I was saying,
It was just about me.
why didn't you come up to stop the bleeding? 23 for 1, 23 for 2, 44 for 3, 44 for 4, 44 for 5. That's when I said, where is the skipper? And I said it on here, the ship is sinking. Maybe it's time to come and stop the bleeding over here.
Our strategy for this tournament from the Vegas team is they brought lots of youngsters and a lot of players who haven't played much on turf cricket, on turf pitch. So they wanted to have a maximum experience, and I wanted them to have, go through it and have the maximum experience of it and see how they take the pressure. So it was they can only learn it once they are into the situation. So I think that could have been a brilliant experience for them. And there's a wicket, a big wicket for New Yorkers. Hasnan Bukhari. The big wicket gone early for the New Yorkers. DC Eagle lost his second wicket. Two players who they were depending on, Anwar and Hasnan Bukhari, are back into the pavilion. And DC Eagles are under pressure now.
Yes, well, they won the toss, decided to take first knock. So at least they're going to try to put a decent target on the board. It's early days yet. We're just into over number 8. So the party has not really begun as yet. 53 for 2. They're going at just over 6 runs and over. they'll have to up that ante. There's still a lot of batters in the hut. It's only 20 overs. You should not lose all of your wickets, but we've seen that happen twice here, and you became victim of one of those. Your team, the high rollers, were bowled out, and were bowled out in 16.3 overs. Yesterday, the defending champions, the Chargers, were bowled out in 16.5 overs. So it seems as if the Lions have a knock of bowling out teams.
Yes,
So,
there's no doubt about that. That they have got a very good team. They've got a good bunch of bowlers and they've got a good bunch of batters. So they'll be a team, will be giving tough time to all the teams.
yes, well, they're 2-2, 2-2. They started proceedings yesterday, and they opened the proceedings on day 2 here today. So 2 wins on the trot, and they're making hay while the sun shines. But now the sun is not shining brilliantly, so they would have made good use of the sun.
Absolutely. But I think the platform of this US Open at this Broward County beautiful cricket stadium is an amazing.
Let's go up at Delaware and play some cricket.
Yeah, that was amazing actually.
Yeah, so they said 6 feet apart. Well, cricket is a non-contact sport. So we said, okay, you don't have to be good. Oh, this one is going high. He's going hard and going far. But it's going for 4, though. Straight down the ground. 4 more. So they're gonna need plenty more of those because they would have won the toss. And we would have they've joined the party with the with your team, Iqbal. They've certainly joined. Well, that's it. When we return, it will be 137 for the target. And again, look at the skies. 90% chance of rain tomorrow. Monday's a rest day. Please think about it. Think about it. Maybe tomorrow should be the rest day. If I had anything to do with it, that's what I would have done. All right, so you're going to be having your look at the skies. Inning break, DC Eagles bowled out for a 136. So on the one chase, it's going to be 137. Bowl out in the 20 overs. All right, all right. Welcome back, and the one chase is on. This one is number one wicket is down in a one chase of 137. Sometimes these small scores give a little bit of problem. So here's it, Max Stephen. He's making his way back to the hut, not troubling the score at all. 0 for 1. Comes in, just flicked it straight into the hands of the man in the short mid-wicket area. Picked him out, as a matter of fact. Yep. Just a second delivery. So the New Yorkers trying to get to 137 for the win. They're one down.
Yeah, good start for the DC Eagles. A bad start for New Yorkers.
Yes, they were 30 for 1 when they lost their first wicket. Now there's 0 for 1.
He was a bit unlucky. He was trying to hit above the fielder's head, went straight towards. Didn't time the ball well.
Yeah, well, he did it all by himself. He's not like a one out and slip, stop, fall or anything. He just took his willow, hit the ball straight into the hand of the fielder. He didn't even have to move. So, hey.
They've got a good left-hand, right-hand combination.
Well, it's 1 for 1. So it was actually 1 for 1.
Yep. Got wides in the start.
Okay. Well, look at that umbrella. 3 slips. We haven't seen that all day long. We haven't seen it in the tournament. So, although they're defending only 137, here's the umbrella. 3 slips and a point, a backward point. Third man, extra cover. There's the man in the offside. Fine leg up in the circle. Deep square leg. Mid on. He's playing this one in the air. Out of the park. Still in the air. It's gone for 6.
6 runs to the New Yorkers.
Easy as you like. Let's have a look. Easy as you like. He stayed for the pose. He got all of it.
Very unusual field setting from Mohammad Asif.
Well, they're searching for wickets, but now one slip has been taken out. Third slip is gone now, and he's going to go. Let's see, the boundary riders is the third man and the square leg, like I said. So you can't catch 6. That went over the boundary. Oops, went straight into the New Yorkers' banner. Now they're pulling in the third man, so we're going to put the...
That's a lot of pressure, I guess. Especially in T20 format when you're chasing. Small total. Defending.
Well, the skipper, this time... Yeah, Mohammed Amin would have represented Pakistan. Man of just a year, but he's still showcasing his ways here on the park. Captain, he might have been a little disappointed in his team's performance, but now he has got to hold the range, and he's looking for wickets, taking charge as the skipper. He's driving, nice firm push out to the deep extra cover for the single. So a wicket in that over goes to the skipper. Mohammed Amin. 8 for 1.
8 for 1 after first over.
Yep, sometimes these small scores are a bit tricky.
Yes, it will be interesting to see how the New Yorkers use the power play.
Yesterday, the one chase in the first match was 162 for the win. And the catchers, they were knocked over, rolled over, as a matter of fact, steamrolled for 93. So Amin trying to get his field placing right, really trying to defend this 137 that is required for the victory. Both teams are playing the first match of the tournament. Again, we're on the lights here. We are covered by dark skies. If you were on earlier, you'd see how ominous they were looking when the cameras were pointed to the heavens. Saw those angry clouds, real dark. Today, rain indicator says it's going to be 50% chance of rain. Tomorrow, it's going to be a full 90%. I can almost call that 100% chance of rain. But don't you dare go away, because we're going to have another game after this. So we're going to be not only on the lights, we're going to be into the night skies. Already it seems like night, and we're just after 4 o'clock in our neck of the woods. Eastern Caribbean Standard Time, it's after 5 o'clock. But we're on the same time with Jamaica right now. So Muhammad is bowling this time. He's in the air, going away from the fielder, and crashes into the boundary board now for 4.
Yes, it was a good shot. He saw the ball, used the width above the point fielder's head for 4 runs, 2 bounces.
Yeah, inside out, and remember, no more than 2 fielders can be outside of the 30-yard circle, and one is stationed at the third man position and the fine leg position. So we have pace on. We expect some pace. Pitch has played beautifully. Has really, really played it. And again, don't know if the tournament organizers can think about tomorrow's 90% chance of rain, or they're going to say it is what it is. Schedule been set. He's pulling at this one, and what happened here? He's gone for 4. Didn't get a good hold of it. You can see he was disgusted with himself. We'll have a look. Seems as if he came from the bottom portion of the bat. Let's see. There it is, and he's like, oh man, I was playing for glory. I was going for broke. I only got a 4, and he's disgusted with a 4 run. Could you imagine that? 2 balls, 10 runs, and he's disgusted. Already he's doing the heavy lifting. The score is 16. He has 15 all by himself. 1 extra into the book. Sachin has not faced the delivery as yet. Seems as if Stephen is going to try to do it all by himself. Imagine you're upset hitting a 4.
Mark Stevens.
Yes. This time he's going over the head of mid-on, and it's going to be 3 boundaries on the trot. A hat-trick of boundaries.
That was a good shot, actually. He saw the ball right into the slot. He saw the mid-on fielder inside the ring. Took the chance. Went straight above his head for 4 runs. Under pressure, DC Eagles constantly changing fielding on every boundary.
Well, there's not much changes you can do outside of the 30-yard circle. So if you want to put a guy on a particular blade of grass, well, you've got to do that. But the first catch went straight to hand. He's driving along the ground this time. Coverage in the long off position. Just the single. Nice, good, strong throw into the keeper. 21 it is. 21 for 1. Remember, earlier in the inning proceedings, DC Eagle won toss. They decided they will take a first knock. They set a target of 137. That which they're trying to defend. We'll watch, we'll wait, and we shall see. One more game after this. Umpire Delroy Festus Lynn alongside Moshed will be the officiating umpires in that third and final game for the day. Oh, this one is outside the off stump. It's going to be a wide. Touchdown outside the off and going further away. That was an easy call for the umpire. So extras have worked their way up to 2 in this one chase. 137 is required for the win. Both teams are looking for an opening win. This is their first match of the tournament. 6 teams trying to get their hand on the coveted trophy. It's a $300,000 tournament with the big boys. This time he's playing with soft hands. Point comes in but can't prevent the single. Picks up cleanly. Decides not to throw. Skipper was in needed some water there badly. He couldn't wait for the end of the over, so they rushed on with some water for him. I'm saying I need to get hydrated, even though the sun is not with us. Still humid. Outside the off stump, he's hitting this one in the air, but not close enough to any fielder. Over the mid-off fielder. But away, no, over the extra cover fielder, but away from the mid-off fielder. As that over comes to an end, it is 24 for the loss of 1 wicket. Over number 2, done and dusted. Will we see the skipper coming back, or he just bowled his 1 and out? Because we just saw him having a big gulp, having some H2O. So must have had a hard day, hard night, jet lag maybe. Well, he's speaking with 2 players. Let's see. I guess he's going to have... He's going to continue. He has ball in hand. Asif.
He's going to go for another one.
Yes, he got himself all hydrated. And decided he is going to bowl 2 on the trot. Got a wicket in his first over, so maybe that's some encouragement for him. Just gave up 8 runs from the over. In contrast, maybe a bit much. 113 is needed from 108 deliveries. And those are legal deliveries. You may have some extra deliveries in between. This time he's playing this one off the outer portion of the bat and down to the third man boundary for 4. And now he thinks he's going to push back the third man. He just indicated that. When you're quite pacey like that, I like the third man, especially up in your power plays, because if you're that pacey, you might go for edges. And again, we have Mark Steven. Mark Steven decided that he's going to swing, and he's going to swing hard. Remember again, competition rules. Playing conditions, no more than 2 men outside of the 30-yard circle. They're stationed deep backward square leg and wide long off. So we're down to 1 slip now. Still attacking with a slip, looking for wicket number 2. as if with a wicket on his belt, ball over the wicket. The Sam is cutting and cutting well again. One bounce over the boundary for 4. Meat and drink for him outside the off stump. He's going hard. So Assis is under the pump. He's just rolling over the arms. He's not really bowling with any venom or anything. Touchdown and still going further away. And he can't believe it. And now the third man is going to put in place. I said I like third man. The 2 boundaries, back-to-back boundaries, came in the direction of third man. Now they're pulling up the square leg, deep square leg. And you're the skipper. You should know I'm not going to bowl anything short to be pulled down there unless I want him to top edge. See, outside the off stump, better delivery. Up to the bat. Oh, and the fielder put his big size 12 boot on it and kicked it away from him. Not intentionally, but it happens. Tried to put his boot on it and kicked it away further, enabling the batters to run 2 runs. So that's an extra run. An unearned run, you would have said in baseball. Nonetheless, total races on to 34. Remember the target score. It is 137. New Yorkers are chasing. As if called right, decided he'd take first knock. Semi's punching down the ground. One of those 2 men outside of the circle comes into play, which is the long off. Rifles in a throw into the wicket keeper. So Sachin, who has been there, not been getting much of the strike. As a matter of fact, he has just had the 1 delivery and got off the mark straight away. But you've seen what his partner Mark Stephen has done. So it's for him to emulate and try to follow fashion. Outside the off stump, he's guiding it to point. Oh, and another miss. That's a bad miss because it was a dot ball. He raced in and ball slipped through his buttered fingers. So he gets 2, goes on to 3. So Mohamed Hasif is changing the fielder. He's saying exchange with him. So he had moved the third man, replaced him with the guy who was on the third man fence. So I guess he might be, he's not sure what he needs. He's not sure. And I always say, your better fielders are in that busy position, the point position. When it comes to this short version, a lot of ball goes square, especially on the offside. So your point fielder has got to be sharp. He's got to have a good throw. He has 1 stump to aim at. More often than not. Outside the off stump. What's going on here? What's that? What was that? Dot. Ends with a dot. As if I've given up 21 from his 2. So he's gone for plenty. The required run rate is now under 6. Just over 5. So it could be an easy park in the park. Singles can do it.
DC Eagles. Under pressure.
Yes, well, but the skipper.
A lot of meeting is going around.
Skipper going for plenty. So what can we say? He's given up some 21. He's going for over 11. 11 and a half and over. And that enabled the New Yorkers to just stroll at 5. Just over 5 runs and over. So we're going to have a bowling change. The number 200. Wise, he batted. He was there for some time when he batted. Taking some time here before this 4th over commence. Let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. I know it's a bowling change and you need to get things right. Have a third game, another third game. We have 2 games for today, 2 games for tomorrow, if possible. Weather permitting. So we're seeing spin for the first time. He's driving this one. And he's gone for 4. There's no cover sweeper for the spinner.
New Yorkers are up to the charge. They're not missing any opportunity. That's a beautiful shot, actually. Saw the ball. A bit of width on it. Played above the head of extra cover for 4 runs.
Yeah, the 2 boundary riders in the previous delivery was mid-wicket and long on. Now they're pulling in the long on and they're pushing back the long off. So they've got to get it right. They took the time trying to commence this over, and it seems as if they still got it all wrong. So now they're starting over again and trying to put the right personnel in the right position. The bowler around the sticks. This time he's driving back along the track, knocked down there by the bowler himself. So let's hope that they've got it right this time. It's 41 for 1. It's 2 southpaws, 2 left-handers are in, so there's not a bother of changing the field left to right, but every ball he's changing. He's changing his field again, asking the deep mid-wicket to go further to his left. It was too straight. But he's playing with soft hands, another dot, so I think he got it right. Let's see if he's going to make any change in the field again. First 2 deliveries he made changes. He's looking around. Let's see if it's going to be a habit. Yes, now we're pushing back the mid-off and say go back on the 30-yard circle, which he did. And he's pulling this one here and he's giving him LBW. The batter is very disgusted. He thought he would have been hitting high. We'll have a look. He thought he would have been going over the sticks. That's what the batter think, but that doesn't matter. The umpire is saying that would have gone into timber. Here it is, here it is. Ball rising at him, rising. But he was crouching though at the same time. Yeah, he hit him a bit high, but in the umpire's opinion, it would have hit the top of off. So Mark Stephen has gone. He's gone for 36. That's the age of Robert Nesta Marley when he left the Mother Earth. 36. Tender age of 36. So 1 for 1 and now 41 for 2. A good partnership of some 40 runs between them. So the DC Eagles are in a huddle. Sometimes, you have to have a look at these LBW decisions. They're always touch and go sometimes. The batter had 1 chance at bat. The bowler, you have 6 deliveries. I do a little umpiring myself. I'm not eager to give LBWs either, because it's a judgment call. Anyway, the umpire has spoken and he's in the better position to give his decision. So we can only call what decision has been made, and the decision is out. 41 for 2. 96 from 98 deliveries. So still on the 6 runs and over. So wickets is which Asif is going to be needing. He needs his bowlers to get wickets. So this time they took the time, changed the field, and make sure they got him in place. And on his 4th go around, pulled up the big fish. Stephen gone for 36. He was the one who was doing the heavy lifting. Aliban is in and he's coming forward and playing. Hmm? So Sachin has been there. Just three deliveries he has faced in all of this 41 runs. In a partnership of of 40. He scored just 3 runs. So extras and the 36 made up the 41 partnership. So end of a successful over. So Wise has 1 for 4. A wicket in his first over. He was carted for 4 runs from the first delivery. And after that, it was an array of dots. One of which would be the best dot. That's the dot with a wicket. Yes. So 5 dots on the trot. I'm sure we will see him again. Well, the skipper is going to bowl his third in a row. Never mind, he's going for 11 and a half and over. He said, I'm gonna get mine out the way and then probably control the team with my captaincy. So he's going to be coming from the far end.
He's bowling his
Third.
third over. So the captain taking the charge.
Still with the slip employed, it's going to be a wide. It's way outside, moving further away. Touchdown. About another 4 stumps outside those 3 stumps.
Yeah, it was a fair delivery. I don't know why Asif was not happy with the umpire.
I'm trying to say it swung after it passed him.
Nah, it was a fair delivery. It was wide.
It was a fair call. It was
Yeah, it was a fair call.
Time he's guiding it down to third man. I like third man. Third man save you a lot of runs. This time he make sure he have his third man in there. 2 boundaries from his 23 runs came in that direction, but he has now plugged that gap. Let's hope that he had not plugged it after the horses have bolted. 43 for 2. We're into over number 5. Remember, the target score is 137.
New Yorkers are on their way, playing really well, utilizing the power play overs. They've kept these Eagles under pressure.
Cutting outside the off stump and missing. Taken by the keeper. Guess he rehearsed an appeal there because the ball was nowhere near the bat. So it was a rehearsal of a how's that. For when the real how's that come around, he'll be in tune, I guess. So Aniban, that's the right hander now. This time he's cutting again outside the off stump. Up goes the glove again. I guess in anticipation of an appeal to get the result in his favor. So 2 balls on the trot, straight to the keeper, and up goes the appeal, although it was not nowhere near the bat. So let's see if he's rehearsing his appeal for the real one. Wickets, which they're in need of, so skipper, as if he's trying down the leg side, and it's going to be a wide. And he's saying, how did that one not get a touch to be taken by the wicket keeper? It was a quicker delivery also.
Well, he's not he's not getting what he's trying to do. He's After the ball, he's just trying to show with his action that he's trying to bring the ball in, but these are all bad balls.
Well, previous two balls were two dots, so they couldn't have been too bad. But this one was down the leg side and called wide, rightfully so. But he's still trying to set his field. He's bringing in his third man. Let's see if it's going to be a double bluff. We saw that earlier in the day when we set the fine leg and square leg, bounce one and was caught behind, hooking. Outside the off stump, double bluff. Goes to the keeper. So from the bowler to the keeper, that's has become the norm here. 3-1 from this over, but 2 has been by way of extras, wides, and the single from the bat. So although they just need under 5 runs and over, extras are keeping them under 5 runs and over. So skipper Asif, you've got to get your radar right and cut down on the extras. You can ill afford those at this time. I think in 2020 cricket, 137 on a good pitch. Doesn't matter the batter. Is easy pickings. It's in the batting favor. More field changing. They're pulling up the deep fine leg and he's coming up into the circle. He's driving pleasantly, but it's just going to be for the one as mid-off runs to his left and picks up just the one. So the over comes to an end. Well, much better over for him. So 4 runs coming from it. As a matter of fact, 2 singles and 2 wides. So, oh, you still have another delivery. Yeah, I think they. Now he's bringing in 2 slips. He's hunting for wickets. I can't fault him. I said that on yesterday. When you're hunting for wickets, you have got to set a plan and stick to your plan. If you think you can nick off the left-hander, put the fielders there. Oh, he's going to be a good delivery. He's passing outside the off stump, going away from him. And the batter shoulders arm. He's looking down as if to say, how was that not called a wide? But it was a legal delivery. So this is by far and away his best over of the match. 1 for 25.
45 for 2 after 5 overs.
Yes, indeed. And it's still slow going. We have to get the umpires to speed it up a little bit. Just tell them, hey, guys, in 2020 cricket, people run to their position. The keeper run up, slipsmen run up and run down.
Yes, they are a bit slow.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes between overs. So it's like the minutes are ticking away. All right. Well. I think we're going to have another change of bowling from this, the southern end. Is it? 198. Don't have my team sheet, and I don't like that. I like to commentate with my team sheet that you can get things in place and you can call the shots, keep a flow. So side rough phase is going to be bowling. He's going to be bowling his left armor. Nice bright color red. Nice clothing. It's taking quite a while before we get these overs. Come on, umpires. We got to speed it up. Push them. We got to push them. Time you have a flight to catch or something. Playing outside the off stump and missing. Taken by the keeper. Oohs and the ahs goes up. Go ahead, give him a push, and say, let's get on with it. I'm standing on my legs, I need to sit. It's not the batters. Fielding team. Sammy playing forward. Yes, no. Yes, no. In the end, it ended up being a no. My word, they were flirting with danger. The ball was pushed straight to the extra cover fielder firmly. The non-striker, where was he going? You have to wait for the call, and then you respond. Ball was in front of the batter. The striker, he pushed it firmly. He did not think of a run, unless you're eager to get on strike. This time he's playing it in the air and away from all of the fielders and down to the boundary for 4. Signal now comes in from umpire Moshed. So after all of that, boundary, let's have a look, float it up, inside out, and lift it deliberately over the infield and down to the boundary for 4. More changes in the field now. They're going to push back the cover sweeper and they're going to bring in the mid-wicket boundary rider. This is the last over in the power play. They've raced on to 49. Power play yielded 48 for 1 when the DC Eagles batted. So in the wicket column, they're doing one better.
Rafi Safdar.
And at the moment, they're doing one better in terms of runs. That is the New Yorkers. Outside the off stump, he's poking it into the wide third man. No one. He's taking off one helmet to put on another.
Well, there's a lot going on the field,
Oh,
apart
no.
from cricket.
Well, he said, I'm going to bat without a hat. The helmet for the spinners, he says that's a no. But for the fast bowlers, I guess he'll call for the helmet. So since the spinner is on, I think he's been bogged down. Oh, my word.
There's more delay now. What's happening?
The umpire is having a word with them. Because they was bringing in water on here, just here, just like that. Could wait for the over. I have 2 more deliveries. They just can't have me coming on bringing water every minute. It's cool. It's time wasting.
I think it's up to the umpires.
Yeah, I can't. You don't want to deny somebody water, but this guy's on the edge of the circle. This time he's going. An appeal goes up for stumping, and I guess we're going to check it on the big screen here for the stumping. But evidently his feet was anchored, I guess. But we'll have a look. His foot is there. Yeah, even though it's in, still call. They didn't call. So the umpire, they've got to send it upstairs. Now he's doing it, and he's a bit late because we've shown it. So the third umpire sent in his not out decision. So play goes on.
The spinner, Rafi Safdar. I don't know what's happening around. There's too much of delay, too much of chaos.
Yeah, like a slow boat to China. We have to speed it up. It's taking too long. It's almost 5 o'clock. Not even halfway into this second game. Sammy's playing a good one inside out, but it goes straight down to the cover sweeper.
Marsh, the game is very, very slow. Batsmen, bowlers, fielders, everybody just slow. You gotta pick it up, bro.
They're taking up the boundary markers. Why they would be doing that?
Did he give the signal for 7 o'clock or just asked? Never gave a signal. He just asked, right?
All right, so it's the end of the power play, and so 50 for 2. The 50 comes up, New Yorkers. So at the end of the power play, it is 50 for the loss of some 2 wickets. So now you can have no more than 5 fielders beyond the 30-yard circle. So let's see. They're going to be hunting for wickets. But if these batters are smart, they don't have to go for glory.
Yes, it's a bit
I want a
easy.
ball, going to get you there.
It's
So as if spreading the fee like this, inviting them to go big. If I were the coach or captain, I'd give them a good tongue lashing.
another wide.
Down
That
the
is absolutely unbelievable and unacceptable.
beautifully taken down the leg side by the keeper, goalkeeper fashion though. Looks good. See, getting a pat on the on the back there, saying, "Wow!" Even surprised himself. Wish you can see that again. He was really going down the leg side because the ball pitched leg, going further down leg. He got there in the nick of time. So we'll have a look. Look at this one. Good wicket keeping. Good for the highlight. There it is. Acrobatic.
A good keeping, but terrible bowling.
Yes, I know, but the keepers would like that. They say that's how you take him down the leg side. Save your team 5 runs. This time he's guiding it and he's going to go for 4. Bad miss by the short third man there.
That's a good shot. He saw the ball on the offside, just used the pace of the ball between the 2 fielders, fielding in the ring for
Yep.
4 runs.
Deliberately. Yes, he opened the blade. You remind me of one Festus Delroy Lynn playing outside the off stump. Yes, deliberate. So, the skipper has been a bit expensive. He has gone for 30. He's bowling his 4 overs on the trot. There's no slip, started with slips and 2 slips and things. He's guiding this one again to point. Busy area. He had 1 stump to aim at, missed. That's a busy area. Your better, quicker fielders are always in that area. He picked up and in 1 motion throw. He had 1 stump to throw at. I think he caught the batter coming in. No obstruction or anything because he was making good his ground. He did not change direction in his running. So no chance of appeal. As a matter of fact, the fielder went and apologized to him. There it is, over the stumps, and ball crashed into his left glove as he was running. He said, "I apologize." And that's it. They are your opponent. They're not your enemies. This time he's poking at one outside the off stump. Missing, and the oohs and the ahs comes up. But it was not a naughty shot because there is only the wicketkeeper back there. It would have been naughty if you had the slip or 2 slips like you saw earlier in the inning. But Hasif has gone for 31. He's taken a wicket in the first over. She has not even gotten an appeal since then. This time going after him, back down the track. Mid-on was pretty straight, so maybe that was all in the plan because he got past as if quick, fast, and in a hurry. But it was good fielding there by the mid-on fielder. He saved his team 3 runs. Trust me, once it would have passed him, it would have crashed into the boundary boards.
New Yorkers are cruising.
Yep, well, the required run rate had gone up to 6 and over now. It was below 6, but 6 and over, so cutting and missing.
It'll be interesting to see who's going to bowl after Asif now because he's going to finish his 4 overs of quarter.
Yep, well, I guess he just want to captain from here on in, get his out of the way, and say, let me go and concentrate on my bowlers and field placement and work how I'm going to get a further 8 wickets or to keep them below the 137 that is required for victory. So that over comes to an end, and his spell has come to an end. He has bowled his 4 overs, 1 for 33. So he's done and dusted. So Asif Mohammed, former Pakistan international player, is captain of his team, DC Eagles. So he's trying not to he's trying not to follow in the footstep of his fellow Pakistani international player who captained his team to defeat today. I'm not going to call any name.
You're just putting some salt on the wounds. He seems to be enjoying my loss. It's been almost 2 hours now.
Oh.
You're constantly complaining.
No, not complaining. I'm just bringing the viewers and the listeners.
They had enough
to
of it.
speed. The shoes is on the wrong.
We have to move on from here.
Have to move on. All right then. So Hasif, we have to move on. Okay, we are moving on. So I wish you can send a message out to the cricketers, the players on the field, alongside those 2 men in the yellow tops. We have to move on. Could you send that message?
They already got it.
Oh, okay. Let's get a move on.
I think they're taking too long.
That's what I'm saying. They need to get a move on.
Change of bowling from the pavilion end. I was a bit surprised Asif did not give Maz bowling earlier from the new ball.
Well, maybe he's better with a slight wind coming from east to west. He's poking the one outside the off stump, the busy area again, the point area, well stopped and knocked down and saved his team at least a run. Because there's wide third man. They've surely picked up a second. It's specialist position, so he hops over to the point for the left hander. That's a specialist area. Always look for your better fielder in that area. There's always something poking or cutting outside there, because that's the line you're asking your bowlers to bowl. Off stump, hitting top of off, and just chances are it's going to go to the point. So your better, quicker fielder should be there. Outside the off stump, here it is again, point into play. That's the field. Get your best fielder right there. And Hasif Seamer's got his man right there, and now he's trying to change him and move him around. Telling him either stay back on the 30, so he's pushed back a few paces back, and he's marked it. He's off camera, really. But I was just describing for you the instructions given by Asif. But you see, I criticize poor captaincy. That's just me on commentary. If I have a bowler, I'm not sitting field all over the place on both sides of the wicket. Especially, there it is, point in again. That's quick. There he is. Seems like a youngster. Can we get a zoom on in so people can see? Right out of the coach's manual, the point fielder. Quick, sharp. Normally that's a single right there. He ran to his right, run in. He know he wouldn't have been able to throw the ball. So you see what he did? His momentum took him up to the stumps. If they were running, he would have ran him out himself, knocking off the bails. This time he's going, gone.
That's a beautiful shot. He just take it out of the park too. Mars.
Yes, he wasn't in the slot. He was right in the pads. We'll have a look. Look at this. There it is. Good swing of the bat. Got all of it. The umpire waited for confirmation that it went beyond the boundary ropes. Guess he lost sight of it. Even though we're in daytime, afternoon time after 5, we're under lights here at the Broward County Stadium because clouds has chased away the sun. Could you imagine that? Clouds has chased away the sun, and the sun is as hot as... I've never been to hell, but someone went and came back and said, man, hell is hot as hell. I believed him because he was so wicked. I know he had to be in hell. That's a made-up story, folks. This time he's cutting again, but this time he's beating point to his right. He dove and another boundary. Yep, he was away from him. He really put in the dive, but it was well guided. So you have to give credit to the batter. We'll have a look. Outside the off stump, and there it is, guiding it, playing it late, just to the right. Made a valiant effort there to pull that one in, but it was always away from him. So he's a good fielder, whoever he is. I cannot make him out from here. If I can see his number, and that's why I need my team sheet. If his number comes up, then we can give him the credit from the com box. So Mays, you've asked for Mays, but he's given up 2 boundaries, and he's going after him again. Runs here for him. Foot chase, ball wins the race. Bang into the fence. 3 boundaries in this over. You've asked for Mays, but Mays has been maced. Got some mace in his face. Oh, I can't believe. Ball took his time and got there. Into the back signs. This is the best I've seen this park looked. Normally we have ropes going around, but this time we had ropes with the MAQ signs all around. Looks good. And it saved time too. I like that, so I have to commend MAQ for this. A lot of balls, normally when you have flags or you just have the rope, sometimes the ball bounces on the rope and just keep going and have to go up to maybe 80, 90 yards. So Skipper Hasif have had enough. He has left the playing area. So I guess someone else, his deputy, is going to take over now. Has he thrown in the towel? Has he given up? It's 73 for 2. Trying to get to 137. So that was an expensive over. Some 15 runs coming from it. That's his first over. But you said he would have been better with the new ball.
Yeah, he should have batted bowled earlier. I'm surprised why he's got. Maybe it's. I think Asif bowled too many overs. He should have stopped after 2 overs. Brought him from the far end. But still, he's also got a lot of runs in his first over. So
because he's bowling with the old ball, like you said.
Absolutely.
Bowled with a ball that was 7 overs old, and he prefers it when it's about 2, 3, 4 overs old, I guess. Okay, now I understand. Listening to live cricket commentary coming to you from Broward County Stadium. 17th edition of this, the US Open. It's a $300,000 tournament. And we're going to be here until December 20th. That's when the curtain comes down. That's a good stroke, but extra cover is in the way and can't score. Again, good afternoon to Lenny Archibald. He'll be here with us in the com box come Tuesday morning, bright and early. First match. I can assure you of that. had confirmation of that. This time he's sitting it in the air, but safely, as the deep long off. He cannot get there. He was in the air, but away from the mid-off fielder. So, don't know who is the captain now that the original captain has left the park. He have left the square. I'm not sure if he left the park. He was beneath us here a while ago, but then I took my eyes off to look at the cricket, so I don't know if he stayed in the hut or if he went into the pavilion, if he went for treatment or anything. But who knows? He may very well want to rub down because he bowled his 4 overs for 33 runs, taking a wicket in his first over. So 75 for 2. Now, the run rate has come down on the 6th again. It's 5.39. The current run rate is 8.82. Sam is using his feet, hitting it in the air, over the bowler's head. Long off, comes in there, running a second one, and there's an appeal. They're going to send that upstairs for confirmation with that run out. So the third umpire is going to have some work to do here. So comes in, he collects the ball, batter. Batter is in, not out. Could we have a replay on the... Yeah. Okay, something happened here, and we am not too sure. Well, we're waiting confirmation here. Wicket seem to have gone down, and not too sure what actually happened there. Third umpire is trying to make a query into it. How about you? Caught. Ball after the... So last wicket fell. Batsman was out caught. So while we were having a replay over here, a ball was being bowled over there and a wicket fell. So we have to have better communication with the umpires and the third umpire because the runouts, stumping are up for review. And when you're reviewing it here, they're not calling. I have to call out the umpires in that one. You're making us look at the screen here to see if the batter was out or not. In the meantime, they're bowling a ball down there. We got to get it right, umpires. We have to get it right. No, more delays. We're just like a slow boat is going to China. We got to speed it up, guys. This is a big event. This is the US Open, 17th edition. After such a beautiful presentation yesterday, we have got to keep that momentum. We've got to keep it up. Outside the off stump, he's back playing to point. The busy area again, can't score. Sometimes you can even have two men in that area because most of your runs come in that area if you watch your salt as a bowler. 3 wickets. First wicket fell when the score was on 1. That was in the very first over. Skipper Asif Mohammed decided that he is going to make some inroads into the New York Yorkers. But since then, they've made merry. Stephen, in the beginning, he was in a partnership of some 40 runs, and he scored 36 of them. So Christopher Barnwell has made his grand entrance. I think he's the skipper of the team. This outside the off stump and he's cutting, but the cover sweeper is there and they can get no more than the single. He was cutting along the ground, 85 for 3. So the required run rate is coming down. It's 5.3 runs and over. Semi's working this one off the legs. They went in the first one quickly, but there's not a chance of a second one there. All right, back to live cricket. Barnwell, capless. Spinners are on. We're under lights. Sun has long left us, covered by grey skies, and this time an attempted stumping. He's anchored. So the last wicket was one that was out, caught and bowled, and we're going to be having a look at it right now. Let's have a look. He comes in, bowls, and back to the bowler. Oh, like taking candy from a baby.
That was a juicy
Yeah, she just poked
half
it back
volley
to
and
him.
just gave him his own wicket.
Catch in practice. That's how the wicket
Soft
fell.
dismissals, we normally say that.
Yes, very, very soft. So while we were looking at the replay for the run out, that took place in our absence. So confirmation, the last batter, we were wondering if he was given out to run out when he was safely in, but the ball was bowled and he was out. Bowled and caught. Caught and bowl. Whichever comes first, the egg or the chicken. Was out caught and bowl, or did he bowl the ball first and caught it? It's always a mix-up between that. It's a tongue twister. They said caught and bowl.
Well, the mystery has been solved long time back. They said the chicken came first.
The chicken came first?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Chicken came first. Okay. I thank you, sir. I'll always remember that. I got my pen. I'm going to write it down and making sure that I remember that.
They have finally decided and announced it that the chicken
The
came
chicken came first. Okay. Okay.
So it's sorted for you once and for all.
Once and for all, I've taken it. I've written it
I've
down.
almost grown up listening this from you. So now, this time when I was coming,
Yes.
I got the confirmation.
Confirmation. The
Done and dusted.
chicken came first.
Yes.
I wrote it down, so it's in my memo. Sammy's going at after one, not timing it at all. There's a dot. Barnwell is echoing now, take your time, and they're not in any hurry to get to the runs. We're in a hurry to get off the park, but not to get in the runs. Do not give away your wicket. Some 3 wickets are down. But remember, oh, they're going to get runs here. There's plenty of them, as a matter of fact. Ball is working its way across the ropes. 4 more.
Well, that's a very good shot, actually. You played with the spin.
Yes, just a touch.
No fielder.
There's no one behind the back of the batter.
It's a bad ball, actually, according to the field.
According to the field, that's what I'm saying. There's no fine leg, neither short nor deep. There's a backward square leg, that's about it. The keeper was the closest to it, and he did not give chase. So, it's bad delivery, because you have a slip in there. You have no business bowling around the corner. I think the bowler should have run for that himself. You should know your field. You have nothing around there. You're giving away runs. Bowl them! No. What has taken place here? Lights, camera, action.
Certainly, New Yorkers are looking under pressure.
So Asif is back on the field. He came off briefly. Back to marshal his troops. And we have 90 for 4. So having played a nice shot around the corner with the previous delivery, here he is getting bowled neck and crop. So a nice little partnership between those two. 23-run partnership between them. So Shamui is the new batter, partnering with Christopher Barnwell. So wickets are what is required here by DC Eagles. Both teams are looking for their first win. We'll have a look. Look at it. Quicker one. Before you know it, it was a quicker delivery. It was bowled and neck and crop. Off stump. Knocked back. Good quicker delivery. Good thinking. But the previous delivery was a poor delivery. No one behind the bat, and you're straight down the leg side. Got a touch onto it, 4 runs. Next delivery, corrected everything with a slip in place. And they need no assistance. They bowled him neck and crop. Coming from that wide angle. Bowled his off spinners down the leg side again, and this batsman is covering up. That's the new batter, Shameri. Christopher Barnwell in the meantime, legs crossed at the non-strikers then, not in a hurry for any single. So the covers are coming close by. I guess rain is on the radar. As you see the top crew to our left, getting in the ready position. So rain is somewhere around the corner, maybe within 5 minutes away. So net run rate is going to come into play. Duckworth Lewis is going to come into play if they don't overhaul the 137. But it's 97 for the loss of some 4 wickets from 11 overs. Right now, if play had to be halted, well, you know what's going to be happening here.
It's not raining yet.
Yeah, but it's on the radar. Once you see the top crew getting in position, they know. They know. Yes, it's on the radar that the rain is nearby. It is close. It's someplace hovering around. So the umpires have to be mindful of that. But the cricketers more so. I mean, the scoreboard is not in operation, the big jumbo scoreboard, but there's the small scoreboard that's on over there. They should be looking at that and knowing where they are at this time. But they're listening to the commentary. It's 46 needed from 54 deliveries. So the New Yorkers are ahead by a nose. And here's a message going out in a bottle. They're going to slow up a little bit. The paces are going to be coming back. So helmets are required for protection. And I don't think that the New Yorkers are gonna be in any hurry to face too many deliveries if they worth their salt. They're ahead on the Duckworth Lewis thing unofficially. I may add that. But the little cricket knowledge that I have and the common sense that is left in me, and since I've been apprised of that chicken came before the egg, I elevated myself.
Very good. Finally.
Finally.
Even all your fans who've been listening it from years are now having a relief.
I'm relieved. No more wondering what came first, the chicken or the egg. Confirmation. The chicken came first.
Very good.
Well. It took a long time. So what have we done without AI? So AI has artificial intelligence have told us that. Oh, this one is one that's over the shoulder and it's been signal coming in now. One for the shoulder. And turn to us over here, umpires. Show us over here. You're just telling them over there. You have to show me. Tell me. It's one for the over. I want to see it. So the third umpire would have seen it. So I guess that's what matters. So let's see. It was a borderline being a wider there, but he was ducking, but standing in his normal position. He may have just passed around the helmet area. So fireworks is on here now. 91 for 4. Let's see. They're steaming in. They know they're behind on the Duckworth Lewis, and he's going after him. In the air. Taken. What a catch. You see what a bouncer can do to you? He shake you up, and all of a sudden, somebody decides he's going to go hard. And a bootlace catch. Describe that.
Well, cricket is a funny game. It changes. That's why they say it's never over till the last ball.
91 for 5. So we're halfway mark. And good, nice tumbling catch. Looked like a slip catch. But trust me, it was not a slip catch. He's blaming his bat, looking at his bat. It's you, pal. The bouncer shake you up. That's good bowling. The bouncer had him ducking. And by the time he got up from underwater, he was still blowy. Yes, he was shaking up with a short pitch delivery, and then the ball one up in the slot, and he decides he's going to go swing for the hills. And didn't get it past the mid-off fielder, who took a good, nice tumbling catch. Wicket number 5 goes 91 for 5. So now we have to be looking at the wickets. Balls left, and the top crew, like I said, they're down in the ready position. They're standing by. So a lot of time, you know, the rain is just there. They're telling you it's about 20 minutes out, somewhere out there. Next thing you know, wind shift, and all of a sudden, it's 30 minutes out. And who knows? And we are praying that it never comes. Earlier in the day, we saw those rain birds, weather birds, flying overhead. I'm like, oh, come on, where you going with these weather birds? A set of black birds came over. But what do we know? I can tell you what we know. Cricket goes on. We're still on the park. Second match is still in progress, and it's just around almost getting up to 5:30 in the evening time here, Eastern time. 5:26, and the second match is still in progress. So the third match should be starting maybe just around 6 o'clock, just after 6. Okay. So just about after 9 o'clock, we'll be here outside the off stump, swinging a miss. So that's the new batter. Christopher Barnwell has not been getting much of the strike. He's only had 4 deliveries bowled at him. He's been away from the strike, so that's good strategy there by skipper Asif Mohammed, keeping the experienced tipper Christopher Barnwell away from the strike. You see the defending champions below us. This time he's whipping this one off the pads. Nicely sweetly down across the boundary for 4. Well-needed boundary there.
Yeah, it
So,
was a bad ball on the leg side. He gave the batsman just flicks his wrist straight towards the over the head of the fielder for 4 runs.
yeah, 2 bounces for 4. There was no one in the deep mid-wicket area, but he got it over. Now they're going to put him back. They're going to ask him to stay back on the mid-wicket boundary, but the horse already bolted. Now they're giving away that single. Remember, it is still below 1-1, below 6 runs and over.
Absolutely.
42 from 50. 42 from 50 deliveries. Mays again, that's your man of business who should have bowled with the new ball, with the hard, new, shiny leather. He has 1 for 19, 1 for 20 with that single. Score is rolling up to the 100 mark. 137 is required for the win, barring rain, weather. But DC Eagle, they need a further 5 wickets. I don't think they're going to bowl their allotment of 20 overs. And the New York Yorkers would not overhaul the 137 that is required for the win. That's just my guess, but you said it. Cricket is a funny old game, Mr. Iqbal.
Absolutely. It's never over until
Never
it's over.
There you go. This time they're working it again off the pads. Fine leg gets in the way, knocks it down, but can't prevent one. And some folks have said they're enjoying your commentary. They're enjoying your commentary, so I have to just pass it on to you. So,
Oh, they're your old fans. I'm sure they're enjoying your commentary.
well, they said commentary, so I have to say you're here now, so I can't take it all. So, well, we always like to hear good compliments, and we hope that we are doing you justice. You're just not staying at your TV looking at bowling cricket. From time to time, we put a little oomph in it, you know, to make sure that you're not falling asleep. And even us here looking at the cricket sometimes think it's a little slow. So I could imagine you at your kitchen, go to your refrigerator, come back, go back and say, wait, you mean another ball hasn't been bowled? So we have to keep you glued to the TV by sometime bringing up some of the things. But I would not go back there for the first match. That's been how many hours? I will not go back there.
Well, I don't even count the hours now.
It's been a long time.
It's been
So,
a long
okay.
day.
So it's done and dusted. We are concentrating on this match and the other match.
There's a next game. It'll be a high-profile game. The next one
Well,
between the Chicago Catchers and the Dallas Smashers.
okay, well, I would think that the defending champions have got to do one better than they did yesterday.
Well,
They went down in a heap yesterday.
I think you must give credit to the LA Lions team.
Oh, but
They
of
have got an
course.
absolutely amazing bunch of players. They're totally different, looking very different, very compact size, complete package. With bowlers, batters, fielders, they have got a complete package. So, you know, they're going to give some tough time to all the teams.
Okay, well,
But as I say, cricket is a funny game. Last year, I was captaining them, and we lost in the semi-finals.
yes. Well, they came back with a vengeance this year. At least the name stays, the skipper goes.
Absolutely.
And there's an appeal, and we're going to have this one sent upstairs, I would imagine. Appeal for one out. Here it is. It's coming. We have a replay for a run out. So the third umpire has been called upon, and he's going to have a look.
Okay, we'll be looking.
TV umpire to director. We have a review for run out. So the director is trying to get that replay for the run out. And we'll have a look. Here it is. The batter is nowhere in sight. Here we come. Throw comes in. He's in, grounded. I'm sure that's going to be a quick not
Not out.
quick not out goes up on the board. So play goes on. He is safely in by a country mile. But confirmation was needed upstairs, and that's the right thing. You make that TV screen, and that's what it's for. Have 2 poles over there. See those 2 cameras over there?
Yeah.
Square leg umpires. We have to put them to use. right next to the ladder. There's one, there's one. Those are the square leg cameras. So again, the production crew, we have to pick them up and saying they're right in queue.
It's been an amazing job they're doing, these guys.
Yes, indeed, behind the scenes, sometimes often left out. Batsmen come forward in the proved correct manner. That's Christopher Barnwell, not in any hurry at this time. He's just playing for the win. This is his first win. Wants to get a win on the board, then probably he'll worry about up the ante for net run rate, having secured a win. But it's not over until it's over. He's working this one off the pads. He's running the first one quickly, thinking two, but quickly aborted the thought of a second. Because the square leg, backward square leg fielder got in there quickly. Got in to say about 35 yards away from field, just beyond the 30-yard marker. And I'm sure he can get a good throw in from there. So Christopher Barnwell was wise enough to say that second run that we thought about has been a long distance memory.
Absolutely.
Yes, again, to all the listeners and viewers, we want to say, we want to welcome your listenership and your viewership, because we could be here speaking amongst ourselves. That would be of no use. So for you taking the time out to watch and listen, we really appreciate that. We try to do our best here to describe and to keep you up to date, and sometimes you're away from your screen that you can still hear what's going on. 99 it is for 5. Voice of Ivor Henry alongside Mr. Iqbal. Oh, the point has messed this one up. This time he's going to give an extra run because he cut the pace off. If he did not get a hand on it, it would have gone out to the cover sweeper for 1. But because he knocked it down, they was always running the first run while the ball was going to him, and he slowed it up going beyond him, enable the batters to run 2. So Barnwell was happy for that misfield, and this time he called for stumping, gonna be sent upstairs again.
It's a wide.
So we'll have to wait for confirmation if it's gonna be a wide or it's gonna be a stump. And if it's a stump, it's still going to be a wide. Either way, it's a wide. So we know it's a wide. It's down the leg side. But confirmation, there it is. He's moved out, feet grounded. No, his feet is grounded. He's a quick not out, but it's going to wide. So the umpire signal wide. Wide.
Not out and wide.
Hey.
No, wait. He had the ball over the ball.
He had the ball over the ball.
Tell him ball over the ball.
Tell him what?
He calling the over. It's a wide.
It was a wide. Extra ball has to be bowled.
Umpires, come on, you have to work with your third umpire. It was down the leg side, isn't it?
That's a bit surprised.
It did not touch anything. It came through.
No, he called wide actually.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he called wide. And then he gave an over.
But you can't call wide. We have to bowl an extra ball. Yeah, you got to come and bowl it. You got to bowl the ball. You got to do it. You have to do it.
Wow, he's just least bothered now.
They're supposed. Well, we have to call out the umpires this time. I'm sorry. I mean, I like to work with the umpires, but you can't call wide and then call the over. Mr. Javid Charlie, if it's 2 games too much for you in the day, you have to let the management know that. This is your second game, 2 in a row. You can't call wide and then call the over.
That was shocking.
Another ball was bowled after that? Well, yeah. But why we not picking it up then? Yeah, it's not 35 thing.
Then they're doing full. You can't call for the stumping upstairs, and while we're looking and viewing.
We saw wide, and
You can't be upstairs, sending it upstairs, you're viewing it, and then you're still playing. If and then call you over. Ooh, this time he goes beach cricket. Bounce into the hand of the extra cover fielder. And in beach cricket, we call that out. Boom, boom. Oh, how is that? One bounce out. Yes, we play those. You have to find a way to get out, man. You got one bounce, you're out. We played three passes out too, you know. Yes, if you're playing and three balls pass you, you're out.
Yeah. The 4 runs on the leg side. Poor bowling from the left armer.
In the meantime, well, score is racing on up to 106 for 5.
He had no fielder there on short fine, and the ball was there right onto the leg side. 4 runs. Poor bowling from Sir Rafe Saftar.
110 it is for the loss of some 5 wickets. So
So why is he saying about an extra ball was from inside here?
nope, the concentration went off and it's two of them. Somebody have to concentrate. But you have a third umpire, so that's your help here. And you have a walkie-talkie. What is the use?
No use.
Okay, we have to call it. We have to call it out. We have to call it. You got to call a spade a spade. Otherwise, we'll never be corrected. You can't just patch it up and the world is watching and seeing. You have a third umpire. You're putting him to use, and then he's of no use when he's calling in his decisions. No, there's a quick one. That's one goes to the short third man. The Nelson is on the board. 1-1-1. You stand on your one leg with the Nelson. Now it's gone past 112. See the head curator, Mr. Milton Taylor. Hope he can work his way up here. If I can get him in this com box and have a chit chat with him. But he's going to speak to Sofian. I don't think he's going to come this far. I guess he's telling Sofian, I need some help with the tap in case the rain comes. I know that's exactly his concern.
In the air and out of the park. 6 runs.
Well, still in the air.
Dexter, that was a big hit by the big man.
Dexter has gone big. Let's have a look. There it is. Ooh, sweeping one over mid-wicket. Good camera work. Right over the MAQ Q sign. Oops. Well, the one rate has gone down to just under 4 runs and over. So again, like I said, net run rate. Barnwell is asking for some H2O. Again, they're leaving out IJKLMN. They've gone straight from H and go to O. They've done that. I didn't make that up. So I learned a couple of things today. The chicken came first, and they leave out some alphabetical letters. Went from H to O.
Absolutely.
Skipper Barnwell is on strike. No. Dexter is on strike, I beg your pardon. And he's stroking this one nicely, firmly out to long off. Just for the single. Working their way to 137. 17 runs away from that. There's 120. Comes up for 5. He's on the back foot, punching into the offside, and balls had to put on some roller skaters there, put the motor in to get down because it took him to the bowler's end. He was on the back foot, and remember, you have to get out of your stance off the back foot to come forward to run. So sometimes you're starting off a little late. Left arm through and around. This time he's driving and missing. Taken by the wicket keeper. Playing with a nice straight bat, but passing outside of the willow. 121 it is for 5. Dexter is on 16, Barnwell on 20. He's going after him again. He's stroking this one nicely, and he's staying for the pose. And the fielder put in a good bit of work there. 2 runs in the meantime to the batters. That's good feeling. Got there in the nick of time. So, in the end, it ended up being a good competitive match. There was no runaway. He's taking them over 16 overs to get the 137. Oh, this is a full one outside the off stump, and he's playing all across it. And as Faisal would said, ugly looking stroke. You could play one of yours in the offside.
Exactly. You just play with the spin. There's too much gap on the offside.
Exactly. You get it past the extra cover here. The cover sweeper is straight, and you have the long off here. It's pretty wide, but if you get a punch past him, it's 4 with a well-timed stroke. I'll play one like you that you got a 4 in that area.
And that's a big one.
It's gone for 6 over the cow corner area, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered. That's a big man hit.
That's called stand and delivered.
Yeah, Dexter has gone past Christopher Barnwell. He's gone up to 24. There it is. Stand and deliver. Swing from the big man.
It was just out of the park.
Yes. So they're seeing the shoreline now, 129, 8 runs away. 16 overs done and dusted again. Then bringing up their net run rate, they're going to be getting this within the 20 overs. And all that counts at the end. I've seen it so many times in the 17, 16 years previous, where teams scramble and they're coming into the park and hoping, and people are looking to see who are going to be doing some illegal betting and match fixing and all the good stuff. Because, oh, if you only lose this, please lose that so I can get in, and all that stuff. But when you could have done it yourself up front. Win your matches, get out the way. You don't have to depend on anybody. Cutting outside the off stump.
Seems like it's Anwar bowling.
Just for the single. 130 now. 7 runs from the mark. You can see the anchors are beginning to roll down from the ship there.
Well, he started his first ball with a poor ball.
Yeah, but he just got away with it. Went for 1. This time a miss. Swing and a miss.
He's trying to put his ball towards off stump. He's got a slip fielder as well. He needs to wear ball very tight.
Yes, well, they have got...
No tibbly-dobblies.
Oh, he's driving off the inner portion of the bat. Squarely comes off the boundary just for the single. So they're doing it in singles at this time.
He's got to slip in, so he needs to turn the
Well,
ball.
the skipper himself is there. He's urging him to swing one around here to me. That's what the skipper is saying. Let him put it around to me. Oh, he's gone big.
Big, and that is out of the park. 6 runs.
So home, set, match. Game, set, match.
Game, set, match. And it's the New Yorkers won the game in style. 6 runs from Chris Hopper, crossing the line for his team in a winning cause. Defeated the DC Eagles.
Yep. One more down on them. One more down. All right, we'll be right back for the third match. So handshakes are going to be going up all around shortly as the teams make their way. The winning New Yorkers make their way out to meet the DC Eagles. So a win for the New Yorkers. They win by 5 wickets. That's it, folks. We'll be back for the third match coming up shortly.